Hi, it's April the 3rd. It's around 3:35 in the afternoon. I was kidnapped on June the 14th, 2016. I was drugged with the date rape drug while I was leaving Prince Edward Island and returning to Toronto. Somewhere outside of Moncton, New Brunswick, we stopped for an unexpected pit stop at a gas station. I bought a coffee there, and there's proof of that because I had so little money. I spent $1 in coins, and I had to put the rest on my debit card. So there's a record of where the gas station is. In the coffee, there was the date rape drug. I was drugged and incapacitated, and I didn't wake up till shortly before Montreal. And I knew there was something odd at the time because basically I'd slept through the whole province of Quebec, which is a big province to get through by bus. At least a good 8 to 10 hours from the New Brunswick border. I've been trapped in this Nazi concentration camp, and since then, I was supposed to be dead in October. I was supposed to be murdered, gassed to death at 25 Arthur Street North in Guelph. I circumvented that with the help of God, who warned me never to enter the house. The first day I was at that house, I looked at the windows and they were double paned. And the words I heard were, and I'll have to paraphrase this, I can't remember it exactly at the moment, but do not enter this house ever. The climate will be controlled by someone else. I took those words seriously and I never stepped foot in that house ever. God saved my life. I'm in Vancouver, and since Christmas, I've been forced to live outside on the streets. Every time I went for a hostel or a shelter or a motel or the Salvation Army, everything was booked. There was never any room for me. There was never any food available for me. There was never any clothing available for me. There was nothing. I have what you see right now are my life's possessions. This is everything that there is, just right here. This is it. If you can see it, this is all that I've got. I have nothing else. I have a bit of money from my pension that came through last month, so I've got some for the next couple of days. I'm staying at a hostel now, which I'm very grateful for because I'm very sick. I have some sort of bronchitis or chest infection. I'm coughing up massive amounts of yellow phlegm. 2.5 weeks ago, the Vancouver police stole my winter jacket. And while I was being rescued from Grouse Mountain on another attempt to flee this, I had to be rescued halfway down the mountain. They had to call a rescue team to carry me out. They took my shoes. So I was forced to walk around for about the last 2.5 weeks in a pair of hospital shoes, like slippers. So they provided no warmth or dryness for my feet. About a week and a half ago, it started getting unseasonably cold here. Everyone who lives here apparently told me it was unseasonably cold weather. And then it started freezing rain for several days. I was shaking on the street with no jacket and no shoes, literally shivering a week ago Monday. And so no surprise, as the week progressed, I became sick and am now very ill. I have very little energy left, and excuse me, I have to lie down quite a lot. I'm on my last days. I don't have any more energy. I have tried to escape from this so many times, and no one has met me halfway. The situation is so severe now, I'm just several days away from death. If this continues and I don't get any help, I'm not going to be alive. I am being murdered by the Vancouver police and several other people, but those are the primary first point contact, I would say, for the torture and complete neglect that I've lived in. It has been neglect. All winter long, I had no clothing except what I've got on. I had no bed. I had some days food, some days no food. Some days money, some days no money. I've had no medicine since October. I have no medical care at all. I am dying. I am being murdered, and there's no way around it. I look like shit. If you look at me compared to my profile pic from Whitehorse just 3 or 4 months ago, I am near death. Um, I'm disappointed in Canada tremendously. It has never come through for me. I've suffered tremendously, and I have been treated worse than a dog. Uh, you would not go to bed every night and leave your dog out in the freezing cold every night in the winter, but everyone does to me. It's sad. It's a disgrace. Um, I'm disappointed tremendously with Canada, with its leaders, with its police, with its judges and lawyers, with its social agencies. You all turn your back on me. Bell Canada owes me tens of thousands of dollars it won't pay. CIBC stole several thousands of dollars for me because these people still won't come forward and ante up and accept responsibility for what they've done and the fact that they're contributing to my murder. Yeah, make sure this is well known. The board of directors of Bell Canada turned their back on me in my darkest hour after 10 years of service with that company and have left me to die. No one has made a slightest effort to help me while I've been in this camp, and I am getting none. The way it is going, I will be dead within a few days. Um, I don't know what else to do. I have struggled. I have traveled 6,000 miles to find freedom, and my sister. I have gone on numerous ventures to try to find freedom and a way out of this. All of them failed. No one met me halfway to help guide me out. The Canadian Army, you were my greatest hope, but also one of my biggest disappointments now. I have no ability to get out of this now myself. My health has deteriorated to such a point I can barely move. I am sad. It's sad that this is how it's come to an end, but Where's My Canada was always set up on the premise to test and find out where the darkness was and how dark Canada was. And we see that Canada is very dark and the darkness is everywhere. I am a Canadian citizen and civilian, no less, with no military training whatsoever. And I have been made to live such an extreme level of neglect that it's surprising that I've lasted this long. I have no intention of committing suicide, but I see very little hope at this point. Aside from a miracle from Jesus Christ, I see very little hope of getting out of this now alive. The animals that control this place, namely Vancouver Police and the RCMP, are savage pigs, and they deserve to all be put in jail for the rest of their lives. Sooner or later, the truth always comes out. I hope it comes out soon rather than later, because my life depends on it. There's very little uplifting news today. I am struggling to stay alive, and I have no hope. I am completely alone and isolated with not a single soulmate or person to talk to or give me any assistance or any comfort of any kind. This is the most barbaric and inhumane treatment of the civilian that I can ever imagine. Anyone who is put in prison gets 3 meals a day in a warm bed. A prisoner of war ideally should be given 3 meals a day in a warm bed. They shouldn't be left outside in the freezing cold in the middle of the winter with no clothing. That goes overboard to such an extent. It's just pure, it's murder. It's pure criminal activity. It's pure murder. Um, I am not, I have had better days, and I don't know what to do now. I don't know what to do. Kelly, I love you. Sarah and Amanda and Rick, I love you too. I um, I wished to spend my life with you, the remainder of my life, but it looks like Canada's not going to let that happen. Uh, the leadership of Canada is a complete disgrace and has left me to die. That's it. Kelly, I do love you. I think about mom and dad and our family and days that were brighter for all of us.
I love you.